Would you like to see the result of using foil paper as a mean of extending the reach of grow lights when you don't have enough? 8 days ago I did a video showing you how I use aluminum foil to extend the light from my grow lights because I did not have enough in my container that I had my seedlings in. My seedlings had just started to germinate, a few of them. So you can go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. And here is the update on what's happening. So I have unplugged the grow lights, and at the time when I show you what's happening, my seedlings were about that size or smaller. They weren't even this size. And now these are the very same seedlings, and look at them. Let me just remove the light so you can get a better look at these seedlings. These seedlings are doing exceptionally well. Mark you, they do have heat, so it's not just the light and the effect of the aluminum foil, but they do have heat that is kept around 20 to 21 degrees Celsius on these seedlings, and so that plays a part too. But in 8 days, from being just tiny sprout that you could hardly see, in 8 days, this is the result. Some of these peppers are just germinating. So I'm going to be watering them, and I'm going to be rotating them. So for the smaller plants, this is one trick that I always use when I don't have enough grow lights as well. Tomatoes grow very fast. Peppers grow rather slowly. Because both plants were germinating around the same time, the peppers a little bit later than the tomatoes. So what I'm going to be doing is taking all the peppers, and I'm going to be putting them under one of the grow lights that is going to keep at this height, because you want to keep your grow lights 2 inches from the top of your plants, and that is where it will get the most benefit from the grow lights. So all the peppers are going to be under this side so that they can be under this grow light, and then all the tomatoes are going to be under this side so that they can be under the second grow light, which I need to put back in place. Now these need to be up-potted because in each container I planted 10 seeds. So they need to be up-potted, but I do not have the space for them yet. So until I can create the space, they will have to stay in here. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind as you use heat to grow your plants, and as you use this aluminum foil, is that it does not only reflect light, but it also reflects heat. And if you're using a heater or a heat mat with these plants, it means that your plants are going to be drying out faster than is normal. So you have to pay close attention to them and make sure that you're watering them regularly. But you need to be careful also that you're not over watering. If you're able to bottom water, then that would be excellent. But if not, then you want to water from the top. Just be careful, especially when the seedlings are in the younger state, like this ones. Not so much these tomatoes, because they're big enough where they can withstand a little bit of the pressure from watering, whereas these tiny plants cannot necessarily handle that pressure, and so you have to be very careful so that you do not water them and break them down. Another thing that you can do, let me get a bit closer to show you what's going on here. these plants, some of them were a bit leggy, especially since they are crowded. And as they grow leggy, they're not necessarily deep into the soil. Tomatoes are plants that you can add more soil to top up the container that they're in without it rotting the plant. Because let me just pull out one of these plants and give you a very close look at it. Can you see those tiny hairs all along the length of your tomato plant, where my finger is touching the plant right there? Can you see those tiny hairs? Those become roots when you add soil to it. And so you can bury as much of this plant into the soil as you want for stronger root system. So I'm going to be putting this back in place. Sorry, little guy, I had to disturb you in order to share some information with my friends. There you go, you should be fine now. Good. Yeah, so when it comes to plants like tomatoes, you can add more soil up on the stem of the plant without it causing any harm. One of the things that I don't like about growing in these containers, these paper pots, is how easily they disintegrate. And so in order to prevent them from disintegrating when you water the plants, I put plastic around them, because the plastic can easily be removed when I am transplanting them without me having to hassle the plants too much. So I wrapped a bit of paper around it so that it won't disintegrate as I try to move it about. So I'm going to be looking, okay, these are my orange scotch bonnet. And these are my long red sweet peppers. Now, another thing that you need to know is that sweet peppers on a whole, the ones that are spicy, the spicier the pepper, the longer it takes to grow, the longer it takes to germinate, the more growing time it needs. And so when I'm starting seedlings, I like to start my hot peppers first, a little earlier than is required, just to ensure that if we have a bit of a naughty summer, my pepper plant would have enough time to grow and produce. I don't like growing bell sweet pepper because they don't really produce a lot, and so it is cheaper to get those in the stores. And so I've turned to growing long sweet peppers because I find that those are prolific producers. So I grow the long sweet peppers instead. I am a bit disappointed with my Roma tomato because I sowed 10 seeds and just a few of them germinated. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But anyway, as I no longer have my large garden, it doesn't really matter because I will be giving away most of these plants anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the result of using the foil paper in here and how it affects the growth of the plant because it extends the reach of the grow lights. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more informative videos like these, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, a time for grow.